Denmark, Hungary, France. Attention.
Good clean start all around. Danes quickly into the rapid strokes to get that boat accelerating. They took 2 long slow strokes just to move it, and then zip, 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 pick it up and zip it along. And this extraordinary difference in physique between the two scullers. Mads Rasmussen, 6'2", or tall, slender, not 6'2", over 6 foot, tall and slender, and Rasmus Quist, very, very much shorter and slight of build, but they sculled beautifully together with the field spread out in a very even phalanx. Over in lane 6, Moreau and Dufour, France in the lead with Italy chasing.
Yeah, 1 and 2 didn't make it through to the final. Vasilios Polymeros and Dimitrios Mougios. Polymeros, of course, an Olympic bronze medalist. Suda and Takeda of Japan, they didn't make it through. Neither did the New Zealand pair, Graham Oberlin Brown and Peter Taylor, or the Russians, Moseev and Varfolomeev. They all failing to make through to this final. As
they go into the second minute, it's the crew that keeps going, as I keep saying in these races, that can keep that pace up off the start, and it's Purchase and Hunter from Great Britain over in lane 2 who've now stretched out, and they are drawing with them the Hungarians, but France rather, in lane 6, but it's Great Britain in the lead, and these two in camera, the Danes, the yellow vest carriers of the World Cup, winners in the last 2 regattas, they're the ones who've got to get back onto the pace there in lane 4. Now Purchase and Hunter got together this season, immediately clicked, but knew that there was a lot of work to do. Purchase, the lightweight world champion, age 20, and Mark Hunter, his more seasoned campaigner, who'd never really made the grade under the old regime, but now that the former Cambridge coach Robin Williams is in charge of the British lightweights, they are enjoying a renaissance, and their 4 and this double scull, the 2 Olympic boats, are looking in great shape. But Purchase and Hunter got a fright yesterday when Marcello Miani and Elia Luini of Italy, not a combination that's gone well previously, really got a wriggle on in the last 1,000 and came zipping up through the field to lead their semi-final and to gain lane 3 in this final, from which they are doing nothing right now. Their bow ball there, number 3, just coming into view, but it is well back in the spread of things from Denmark and Great Britain and France.
Yeah, Luini, former world champion on 3 occasions with Pettinari. Traditionally, they would do their solid work in that middle 1,000, but as you say, Hugh, they've already given themselves quite a task here, and 3 from the bottom. You've got Denmark, but on the far side, Sam Phelps and Tom Gibson from Australia in lane 1, doing a pretty good job out there, because they are some considerable way away from the pace of the Danes.
Well, they're lucky that they've got Great Britain beside them, and that Purchase and Hunter made that early move in the second 500, which took them into, well, in fact, 500 and took them into the second 500. That drew the Australians with them, and Purchase and Hunter now paying a little bit of a price for that. They haven't yet got the togetherness and the perfect synchronicity to carry that pace right the way through, so they used it early, and they're paying a little bit of a price, but the field is sorting itself out in traditional lines, with the Danes now just striding and taking 330 centimetres a foot every stroke as they just draw away from the field. Look at that absolute perfection, mechanical perfection of movement and coordination between the two scullers. But it's mostly the way the work comes on with the blades. Doesn't matter what the bodies do, the work comes on with the blades in such a way that that boat is just so much easier to move than the others. Australia in second position, Great Britain holding on to third, and Hungary, former world champion Jolston Varga, coming back into the game, leaving Moreau Dufour of France out.
So coming up to 1,500 metres, 500 to go now, and I don't think there's any doubt here, Hugh, that Denmark are going to take the World Cup here. It's all a scrap about the rest of the places, and even Italy at this particular moment not totally out of a fight for maybe a podium place. It'll be interesting to see what they can do now in this last 500 metres. But Miani and Luini trailing, really. They're just about in the moment from France, Moreau and Dufour. Those two countries, France and Italy, vying for 5th and 6th place. On the far side, Australia in 2nd place. Then you've got Great Britain and Hungary vying for 3rd. And that's the way it is. The closest to you on picture, that's Hungary. Great Britain and Hungary virtually bow ball to bow ball, with Australia, who were 4th last year in the World Championships, behind the Danes, solidly holding on, grittily holding on to 2nd place, as Hungary now really start to move. They seem to have Great Britain. Now they're trying to have a go at the Australians on the other side, and the fight between the Australians and Hungary now bringing them just that little bit closer to Denmark, but there's no danger. Denmark will not be overtaken. This will be a Danish victory.
The only thing that could happen now is Great Britain could get back on terms with Australia for the bronze medal. It's definitely Hungary in silver with Denmark in gold. What's going to happen to that bronze? Australia and Great Britain in lanes 1 and 2, head to head, toe to toe over this last 150 metres.
Denmark coming through to take the yellow jersey for the World Cup for 2007 ahead of Hungary. Promising effort from the Hungarians, and it's on the surge, and Great Britain get it on the surge there to take 3rd place away from Australia in the very, very last stroke.
Finish time of 6:20 there, relative to 6:10 in the World Championship, world best time ever set by Rasmussen and Quist. That's pretty quick in these conditions. That's 10 seconds off the time with a roaring tailwind. That's exceptional.
Good effort from the Hungarians. We said the news from the camp was promising.
The result
They're working extremely well. That's 2.5 seconds off the crew that has set the pace for the last couple of years. They're back on track.
Second, Hungary.
Great Britain awarded that medal